It's a very tragic end for any politician, and in a way, this is a warning to all people in politics. They must not overstep their limits. We are all sad, but this shows that there is a law of retribution, and if innocent people are killed mercilessly by people in high power, there is a law which would take care of them.
Nonetheless, judging from this morning's reports coming from your country, it seems that the execution was carried out in a rather furtive fashion.
It's not like that. This is the normal procedure. In fact, the Western media is rather trying to play things up too much. They must realize that it's not a political case. Here is a person who committed a criminal offense. He has been judged as responsible for the crime through the judicial process, the highest courts of law, and he has been hanged for a sordid crime which was committed on innocent people under his orders.
Why did President Zia not take account of international pleas, including pleas from third world countries, for the execution not to take place?
I think the answer is very simple. General Zia wanted to show that law is one and all are equal before law. Poor or rich, high or low, politically powerful or politically weak. And as such, if he had commuted the sentence of Mr. Bhutto, it would have meant that politicians have a license to do whatever they want, to act despotically and to mercilessly spell horror, crimes.
That there will now be a fairly violent reaction in Pakistan to Mr. Bhutto's execution.
I have been listening to that for the last 20 months, and I have not been able to find out where that support for Mr. Bhutto is hiding. This is something which represents a kind of a wishful thinking of the West. They regard that Mr. Bhutto is the most popular person in Pakistan. This is patently wrong. People have suffered under the hands of Mr. Bhutto. He is not responsible merely for this one murder for which he has been taken to task. He had ordered 23 other political murders. Under his regime, over 400 persons died on the streets. During his regime, over 100,000 persons were arrested without trial. During that, women were raped, children were killed, youth were killed, students were violated. His own party men had to suffer at his hands if they were prepared to dissent from him. This was a reign of terror and oppression, and people feel relieved, not antagonized, as the West is trying to project.
What will now happen to Mrs. Bhutto and her daughter?
Well, we are all sympathy for them, and we hope they would behave within the limits of law. And if that is so, they would be treated as equal citizens of the country.